What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Andy, the Destroyer, Ruiz, and Derek War Chisora. You know, people ask me what I feel about this particular matchup through Q&A, and I think a fight between Derek Chisora and Andy Ruiz would be an interesting fight as long as it lasts. Why? Because Derek Chisora, for one, has showed you that he comes out guns blazing. You know, he comes in throwing bombs like he did with Spilka and others, Usyk, Parker the first fight, dropping him. So he does have a presence. He has a strong 4 rounds, okay? But after the 5th round, I think he starts to fade 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But he does have the will of iron. But he just doesn't have the energy to attend that will of iron. Whereas Andy Ruiz, I think, is a slower starter. So it would be interesting the first 4 rounds, 3 or 4 rounds, to see what happens. Does Derek Chisora, being still fresh at the beginning of the fight, does he have enough to put Andy Ruiz out? Because this question would be nonsense a year ago. We wouldn't even be having this conversation about an Andy Ruiz and a Derek Chisora matchup. But since a 40-year-old Chris Arreola could catch Andy Ruiz with a straight right over the top, right? Drop him on one knee and then hurt him in the 3rd fight. That shows you something has definitely changed about Andy Ruiz. A lot of people blame it on the weight loss. It may be. But nonetheless, he gets caught with a solid punch from any contender. Derek Chisora, I think, can do the same thing. If Chris Arreola can do it, so can Derek Chisora. Does Chris Arreola have the same fighting style? No. Styles make fights, but Chisora is going to give Andy Ruiz what he wants. Now, unfortunately, that will be the bad thing, because Andy Ruiz, training under Eddie Reynoso, and even before him, when he was with Manny Robles, he was able to pick spots and counterpunching, especially close range. And Derek Chisora is going to be right here. He's going to be right there. He's not going to be anywhere away that Andy can't touch him. That's why it would be an interesting fight. The only thing I would give Derek Chisora, though, body punching as well as a puncher's chance in early rounds. Because Andy Ruiz likes people that fight him on the inside. That's how he got AJ. AJ thought, hey, I'm going to go in there and scrap with this little short dude. Let me get down to this level. Let me get real close. And that put him right in range to do his own stuff. And he let his own stuff count. So, saying that, I think Andy would take it if Andy doesn't get knocked out. All you have to do with Chisora is to get past the 4th and 5th round. You're good, because he's going to tire. We learned that about the Parker fight. Did he give up? No. That's what makes him marketable. That's what makes him the guy that people want to see, want to pay to see. But will he win against Andy Ruiz? No, I don't think so, unless he knocks him out. And that's not out of the question either. But realistically, would a fight like that happen? No. A fight like that wouldn't happen. Andy Ruiz wouldn't take that fight. I don't have faith in Andy anymore for taking mediocre fights. I think Andy would just wait around to fight the bigger fights. That's what being spoiled with those 2 AJ checks will do to you. You get the mindset of, hey, I'm not fighting for a certain amount of money. I'm not fighting a certain type of fighter for a certain amount of money. Okay, we learned that about Ortiz and Dillian White this time last year. Okay, so for people that think that fight would actually happen, no. But if it did happen, that meant Andy Ruiz is very confident that he could do exactly what I said he's possible or capable of doing in the fight against Derek Chisora. Okay? Because, they all have the common opponent of Joseph Parker. You know, a lot of people thought that Andy Ruiz beat Joseph Parker. He was just in his backyard. A lot of people, including myself, thought Derek Chisora beat Joseph Parker in the first fight. But Joseph Parker beat Derek Chisora, so I guess that would be the thing to do. But it wasn't, really. The thing to do that furthers the progression of boxing would be Andy Ruiz taking on Joseph Parker in a rematch. That would be a fight worth seeing because that is the first loss that Andy Ruiz took. Okay, so for that reason, I think Andy, if he wants to worry about, you know, getting some get back or some revenge, you know, la revancha, right? He would want that fight, not a Derek Chisora fight. So to even hear about a Derek Chisora fight tells you want the loser out of the guy that beat you. You would want the winner, right? Anyway, that's my counterpunch on Derek Chisora versus Andy Ruiz. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been counterpunching. Peace.